Hey everyone, it's mekklord. Welcome to my video guide to INFINITRACKS. I didn't put the name, but you know what this is. So, what's INFINITRACKS? It's diet trains, basically. A bunch of Earth machines that make these summons. In the TCG, they're part of the commonly known Earth Machine deck, also called MIT, which stands for Machina, INFINITRACKS, and Trains, and there's a little bit of Ancient Gears too, which is like a resource loop oriented kind of control deck that uses Machina monsters as its boss monsters and INFINITRACKS and Trains to generate card advantage and basically just win the game from there. But we don't have like the good Machina cards in Duel Links yet, and we are still missing a lot of like crucial pieces for this deck, including Brutal Dozer. So let's look at what it could actually do in Duel Links with the cards that we do have. Also worth mentioning is that this deck is kind of in two mini boxes. So if you want to build it completely, you are going to need to go into the Phantom of Rebellion mini box, which contains basically all the deck starters, whereas the Arms of Giant mini box has the boss monsters that you are going to be using. So, starting off with Heavy Forward and Infiltrate Harvester. Basically, these cards are the two main searchers of the deck. Heavy Forward searches on activation and Harvester on summon. Harvester can then use its effects to level modulate. You're not going to use that often, to be honest. But Heavy Forward can attach itself as material to a Machine Xyz monster that you control, which is pretty cool. You should probably run from 2 to 3 of each of these cards. Anchor Drill is the best normal summon in the deck. Basically, it allows you to get out another INFINITRACK monster from hand for basically free. It also can use its effect to level modulate, usually to level 7. I mean 9, which is a different number than 7. You should run 3 of this guy as well. Then we have Crab Crane, and the card that it searches by banishing a machine monster from the graveyard, which is our trigger extension. First of all the level 5 INFINITRACK monsters have an effect to special summon themselves by tributing another Earth Machine monster that you control. So there's that out of the way. Second of all, our trigger extension. No, it is extension. Has two pretty relevant effects. The first is that it can rank up an Xyz machine monster that you control, and the second is that it protects Machine Xyz monsters from targeted card effects, which, you know, pretty important. I think you should be able to run one of each and get a pretty solid board going on for you. On the other hand, Drag Shovel and Spin Turn, which is the other duo that, you know, of the monster that searches the back row, is not really that interesting. Spin Turn is so situational and mostly just bad on bother. Then we have Tunneler and Trencher, monster that respectively provide recursion from the deck and some long-term staying power. Tunneler is basically part of Avarice, and Trencher is a monster reborn, which, you know, pretty decent. You should play one of each. INFINITRACK Goliath, one of the most important cards in the deck, basically a link one that you can summon several times per turn and fill a graveyard pretty quickly in order to get a turn 1 tunneler, and the Energize effect is sort of relevant as well, because as you're going to see, you can use it as material for the INFINITRACK Xyz monsters. You should run 2 to 3 of it. River Stormer, pretty good. It searches basically every Earth machine in the deck and either adds it to your hand or foolish burials it. Yeah, pretty good. You should run 1 to 2 of it. Mountain Smasher, it's just a big guy. But it's a big guy that is not all that bad, but you only need 1 of it. And Earth Slicer is the final boss monster of the archetype. It just pops that stuff by targeting it, which I guess is okay. It's not like revolutionary, it's fine. You should run 1 to 2 of it. And then there's some other cards that you know worth interest talking about. In the TCG, you'd be able to use the Link Ancient Gear monster to search box. In Duel Links, you have Ancient Gear Wyvern, which you can special summon off of Anchor Drill, which allows you to search box on summon, and then box allows you to search basically any INFINITRACK in the game except Drag Shovel, because Drag Shovel is bad, because they have 500 attack or defense. The issue with Wyvern though is that once it is summoned, you can no longer set cards from the rest of the turn, which for a control deck is not ideal. You could try running 3 Wyverns and 1 box. I am going to just run the 1 box and see how it goes. Then we have Super Express Bullet Train. You know, the train engine in general, don't think it works all that well. Without some really impactful plays you could be making. In the TCG, you'd be able to loop Super Express Bullet Train and Ancient Gearbox to keep drawing cards off of box every turn. Can't really do that easily in Duel Links, and also we can't really just play INFINITRACKS as a supplementary engine for trains because we don't have enough extra deck space. I'm sorry. That's the deck list that I'm gonna try out. So you take a look at it. We're running Barrage Blast because it's a really good card in order to provide disruption. We can dig for it sort of easily. Church is just stupid still. And yeah, I don't know what skill I should be playing. Probably something generic, maybe D-Draw. I don't know, man. Oh, it's time for me to showcase the combos of the deck. So combo time now. Hey, hello. This is the combo part of the video where I show you how to actually play the deck. So this is the deck list that I showed you earlier, right? Like 2 seconds ago. I'm recording this part separately, so I already forgot. But yeah, it's pretty basic. Not much to talk about it. The general game plan is you don't want to search Outrigger Extinction turn 1 and end on Mountain Smasher, also having used Tunneler's effect to draw some of additional tech. Let me show you. So yeah, playing on with only 4 cards in hand. Okay, so this is a PP hand that doesn't achieve anything, which is a real issue with the deck. There's a real like brick potential, you know. But what you can't do is grab Tunneler. From this point, we make Goliath number 1. We tribute the Goliath in order to make Tunneler. Go for another Goliath. Tribute the Goliath to go for Trencher. Make another Goliath. And then we can use Trencher in Grave. Well, missing 1 machine, unfortunately. So I don't think we are going to be able to do anything. Which sucks. This is one of the worst ends that you could have opened. This is bad. Let's pretend this never happened. Okay, so this is bad because we opened the box. But still mostly playable. AB forward is going to get us... I don't think I have a choice in the matter here. It has to be Harvester, right? Yeah, it's going to be Harvester. Harvester summon. Harvester is going to search probably Trencher again. It's basically the same hand as last time. This is bad. Yeah, we're looking for a hand where we open Anchor Drill, and this is not it. Anchor Drill, you know, oh, Anchor Drill, and then we get Tunneler. And then we make both of them level 9, and then poo, that's Earth Slicer, and then we make Goliath, and then we reborn the Earth Slicer, and now it's going to be able to equip Goliath from Grave and get its cool effect where it is can't be destroyed by card effects. So yeah, that's sort of relevant, I guess. It's mostly just mid. Looking for a really good one. This is not ideal. Okay, this is ideal. You open Harvester and Anchor Drill both. So you go normal summon Anchor Drill, special Harvester, Harvester effect. We're gonna get Crab Crane. Doesn't really matter what you get, because you're gonna see all 3 one-ofs throughout the course of this turn. So we get the Crab Crane out. We're gonna banish the Harvester now to get the Outrigger extension. And then we get to summon Trencher. And now that we have 2 mats, we can make River Stormer. River Stormer, we're gonna detach, I don't know, Crab Crane. And we're gonna get Tunneler. Well, actually, I should have got a 9 Gearbox just to dig 1 deeper. It's fine, doesn't really matter. But if you wanna play this optimally, you should have went for the Ancient Gearbox. I'm an idiot though, so it's fine. We have the Goliath number 1. We're gonna tribute Goliath for Tunneler. We're gonna go for Goliath number 2. At this point, you know, I'm thinking I do have enough mats engraved to activate the tunneler. Do I want to do this now? Question mark? No, I'm gonna go for River Stormer first. River Stormer, I'm not gonna activate Goliath. I'm gonna activate Outrigger Extension. With Outrigger Extension, I'm gonna be able to uh, manually go into Mountain Smasher in defense. And then I'm going to be able to make a third Goliath. And then I'm going to be able to bring back the Mountain Smasher and attach Goliath to it. So this can't be destroyed by card effects, and also it can't be targeted by card effects, which is pretty good. And it gets even better because we have Tunneler Engrave. So we're going to be able to shuffle these three back in our extra deck, and Anchor Drill and probably Crab Crane back in our main deck, and draw two cards. So we drew Tretch and, well, we drew Heavy Forward, which we can activate now, actually. So we get to add a monster for next turn. What could I possibly add? Probably the Anchor Drill. Heavy Forward then becomes attachment for Mountain Smasher. Then we get to set Barrage Blast and Tretch, and this is an untargetable, indestructible 3100 attack monster with Barrage Blast that allows you us to pop up to 2 cards on the field, and Tretch, which we can use targeting our own monster because we can target it, but it's not going to be able to be destroyed, I don't think. Actually, I have to check. Yeah, it can be destroyed by card effects. So this is like the ideal turn 1 setup, I'd say. Going second, shoot, that's not what I wanted to do. Going second, you're gonna have one more card in hand, right? So, assuming your opponent has any kind of like disruption or anything, the simplest thing you can go for is just Earth Slicer with Outrigger Extension and OTK from this point forward. Like, let's do this actually. Anchor Drill Shokan is gonna get us Harvester. Harvester is gonna get us, I don't know, Trencher. At this point, we're gonna tribute we can tribute either of those because we're going to be able to build Earth Slicer either way. I'm gonna go for the Crab Crane. Crab Crane, banishing the Anchor Drill in order to get our trigger extension. At this moment, we can use the level modulation effects of Harvester to go into Mountain Smasher. And then, using our trigger extension, we are going to be able to make a fat Earth Slicer, which, you know, pretty decent. We can detach 2 and pop 2 cards on the field and go for a huge attack, but we also have the possibility of extending forward using Goliaths and Trencher and Tunneler in order to draw us even more cards. It's a control deck after all, so you'll never really out of options for what you want to do. So yeah, it's a pretty cool deck, isn't it? Wow, those were really cool combos. Okay, so what are the pros and the cons of this deck? I think it's pretty fun to play. It can do a couple of neat things that might have some meta relevance. It has some decent options whether you're choosing to go first or second. Not that you get to choose in Duel Links. It's not all that expensive to build, right? You just have to dig like 3 times through one mini box and then once or twice through another mini box. So it's fine, right? And the cons, it's a very combo-centric deck, meaning that going second, you're very susceptible to disruption. There's a lot of choke points that this deck has. The focus on targeted removal is less than ideal, especially in a metagame where a lot of like cards, like Purple Nightfall, can banish one of the targets that you're choosing for Earth Slicer, for instance. Infernoids have access to Voids here. Galaxy as Photon Lord that just is protected. So, you know, maybe not the best form of interaction. Also, being a combo deck with like intricate steps and all, it's very easy to just mess up and do bad with. It's very tempting to just go for a Slicer past turn 1. That's far from ideal. So, you know, I think the deck has potential. Whether or not going to see play pure or as a supplementary engine in like some other control decks like Gendora remains to be seen, but it's definitely going to see play, if only for the novelty factor. So yeah, that's all for now. Thank you for watching the video. This is a picture of Yumi, and she really appreciated everything nice that you guys said to her the other day in the other video. She is no longer stressed and anxious, and now she is ready to get dinner, which is cool. Happy holidays to y'all. I'm gonna upload a couple more videos throughout the next couple weeks. They're all going to be scheduled, so I'm not going to be able to create new content because I'm going to be spending time with my family and stuff. So looking forward to that. Thank you all once again for watching, and take care of yourselves, and goodbye.